Hey, Dan Larsson here from Warp Academy. In this video I'm going to talk about kilohertz phaseplant. Now this synthesizer is quite new, but one day I believe it will be able to beat Serum, and that is mainly, in my opinion, because it offers unlimited amount of generators, effects and modulators, and this is perfect to create very heavy basses or basically anything that you want to make. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to make a very nice and heavy Neuro bass that I made for this groove. And this is the bass that I'm talking about. So let's jump into it. But just before we get going, I would like to invite you to join the community by hitting the subscribe and activate notifications. That way you won't miss a beat and get the heads up on all the things as soon as we post them. Okay, so after you saw what this plugin can do, I'm sure that you will want to add it to your library, and you can do that in the Warp Academy web store. Okay, so if you have a look on the user interface of phaseplant, everything is quite obvious because as you can see here, it already tells you are the generators. On the right of that, you can see the effects. We have 3 different lanes for the effects, so you can affect your sound in 3 parallel ways, and down there the modulators. And above the modulators, you can set some global settings, for example, the polyphony, unison, master pitch, band range, etc. So everything is very obvious. Let's start with the generators. If you hover your mouse here, you can see that it already wants to add you a generator. So if you click on that, you can switch from an analog oscillator, a noise oscillator, a sampler, and a wavetable oscillator, or a distortion or a filter, and some utility like groups, an aux, a mix, and an output. Let's start with the wavetable. So if you click on that, it automatically puts the generator into a group and adds an output, which is needed if you want to get some sound out of the wavetable oscillator. If you keep adding generators like an analog and a noise, for example, you can see that we have no arrows going anywhere. So if you want to do that, just tweak the order of the generators. And as you can see, the wavetable and the analog go into the output. So this plus icon tells you that these 2 generators are summed together and going out from the synthesizer. Now the cool part in this is if you only want to use a generator as a modulator, for example, frequency modulator or something, you don't need to put this anywhere. Just leave it behind, so its sound will not go anywhere, only the modulation will count into the preset. So how you can modulate anything here? Let's say we have the noise oscillator as a modulator. If you hover your mouse, you can see this green plus icon. If you click on that, you can see the targets. So basically, we can modulate the phase here. If you start tweaking, the visual feedback is awesome here because you can see that how it phase modulates this simple saw wave here. Also, you can modulate the shift. Also, you can add amplitude modulation on the sound. And you can do the same with the wavetable again, so these are crazy modulation possibilities. Okay, so we just generated very high frequency, very harsh sound that probably you want to filter. So let's grab the filter and move it between the analog and the output. And again, the visual feedback here again is awesome, so if you pull back the cutoff, you can see how it filters the whole sound. And also you can add a distortion, so let's move it after the filter. So basically you can do crazy routings here. Okay, so let's say you are done with the generators. You want to add some effects, for example, a reverb. Just simply go here and add the reverb. And that's it basically. You can add different, almost unlimited amount of effects. So this is my favorite thing in phaseplant, that you can put any effects in any order and in any number. This is very important for me. And let's say you are done with your main bass. So let's group it and let's create a new group for your sub. So let's rename it, for example, I don't know, main bass, and let's call it sub. And again, use an analog, for example, I just want to use a sine. Let's add another analog, another sine, and an output. Now what I want to do is the same. I just want to use the second analog oscillator as a modulator on it. But I want to add a distortion on the main sine wave. So what it will do is take this sine wave, distort it as you can see here, but I want to modulate the phase using the second one. So again, it is very, very simple to overview the whole preset, because with these arrows, you can see everything clearly what happens inside of phaseplant. Okay, but let's say you don't want to add reverb to your sub, because here in the first lane, we can see a reverb. So what you want to do is go to the output and let's send it to lane 2. And boom, you just avoided adding reverb to your sub. And as a final touch, let's say you want to add an LFO as a modulator. So let's create an LFO. You can set the range to unipolar or bipolar or inverted. I usually go with unipolar. And again, just click on the plus sign. And let's say you just want to modulate the drive on the distortion. And boom, this is all very, very simple to modulate anything here. Just a quick note, if you want to fine-tune your LFO shape, just click on the pencil tool and start drawing your own shape. Very, very cool feature. Okay, so this is the main overview of phaseplant, and now let me jump into it. The main preset that I used for this bass. Very cool sound. So this is a bass that I made in 2 different parts. First, I made this sound that I resampled and put back into another instance of phaseplant. So let's jump into the main bass, the main preset, and let me analyze what I did here. So I have 2 groups. I have the main Neuro and the main sub, just as I showed you previously. Let's start with the easier one, with the sub. So it is the same again. I use an analog oscillator and a sine wave into it, and a simple distortion, an overdrive distortion after it. And interestingly, I use the output of the distorted sine as a phase modulation on the analog sine wave. And I just routed into lane 2, which is empty, so I'm not affecting the sound. Okay, so this is now how it sounds. Very fat sub. So let's go to the Neuro one. The first generator is a wavetable, and I use it from screams and crunch. I modulated the wavetable position using LFO1. After the wavetable, I added a filter, and the low-pass filter cutoff is modulated by another modulator that is called a random modulator. And you can see the range here. After it, I distorted it using a hard clip distortion type. And then I added another sine wave that I used to modulate the phase on the wavetable. So basically, this is a phase modulation stuff here. And this is the preset here that goes out to effects lane 1. Now I use an ensemble, which is a unison kind of thing, which is a very nice effect. Honestly, I really love to use that. It makes our sound very fat. I only change the mix and pull back the detune and the spread a little, so this will not give a very drastic effect on our sound. I added 2 notch filters, and I use the random generator, to pull back and forth the cutoff on them. After the saturator comes, which distorts our sound in a very, very nice way. It basically creates harmonics that I filtered out using the filter. Another ensemble, a chorus. So this will give lots of voices to our sound that makes it really fat. After the distortion, I found that the highs are very harsh, so I added another notch, which basically plays on the high frequency range. And I use again the random modulator to drag the cutoff back and forth, a phaser, a hard clip distortion, and a slice EQ. Now, if you click here, you can see that basically you can add any kind of EQs here. And I figured out that if I modulate the mix using the random generator, it creates a very nice modulation to the sound. This is why you can see this curve going up and down. And at the end, I use the filter to chop off the very highs because the sound was still very harsh. Okay, so this is the main preset, and all I did here is I resampled that and put it back into phaseplant, into a new instance of phaseplant as a sampler. As you can see, if you click here, you can choose a sampler. So this is what I did here. I put the main sound into sampler. Of course, I set the root key. And what I wanted to do is add some click, some kind of kick tone to the sound whenever I trigger it. So this is why I used this envelope and modulated the shift on the sound of the main sampler. Let me demonstrate it, how it works. So this is the original untouched sound, but it really needs that punch basically. Very cool sound. So the purpose of this cutoff is to pull back the high frequencies on the kick, on the very start, the transient of this sound. And then I added another filter, just make the sound less harsh. And this is all. After it, I added a distortion and another slice EQ to remove all the frequencies that the distortion generated. And one more thing, I used macro 1 to be able to tweak the offset, the starting point of the sound, if I want to, use it, for example, in Ableton, or if I want to map it to my MIDI controller. This is very, very important thing because you can only automate the macros inside of Ableton or inside of your DAW. And in the sequence, in the groove, as you can see, I automated the macro to achieve a different sound whenever it hits. So, as you can see, phaseplant is a really powerful synthesizer, and mainly because of the unlimited generators, you can group them also, unlimited effects. These are very high quality effects. I really love the ensemble, the slice EQ, and every other stuff are very, very cool. Especially the Faturator, that's just an awesome distortion device. And you can use unlimited amounts of modulators and stuff. And basically this is what every sound designer needs. So I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration, and don't forget to check the Warp Academy web store for phaseplant, and see you guys next time. Peace!